Do you know how much your other half makes? If you don't, it could be a sign that as a couple, there are cracks in your household's financial foundation. Joining us today is John Sweeney, Executive Vice President at Fidelity Investments, to share findings of a new survey about couples and retirement. Welcome, John.
Joey, thanks for having me.
Were you surprised that so many couples could not correctly identify what their significant other earned? What's the reason for this?
We actually were surprised because when we asked couples, do you communicate well about financial issues? More than 2/3 said, yes, we do. But when we asked them a specific question like, what does your partner bring home? 43% of the people we surveyed couldn't correctly identify what their partner made. So when we peeled back the onion, we found two big trends. One, there's a shift towards a more project-based economy. So it's difficult for people to articulate what they themselves make. So it's not as if they're withholding information from their spouse or partner, but it's important for them to understand what they may bring home. And in an economy where you may work on a project for a period of time, let's say construction or software development, you may have income that varies significantly from year to year. So articulating what you make and what you bring home is going to be challenging for you to do with your partner. The second thing is the stock market. We are in the 6th year of a bull run. We've seen very positive returns, and folks living off of their investments, particularly retired people, have had an income stream over the last 6 years from dividends and appreciation of their securities that may not be repeated in the future. And so it's important for them to take stock of where they are, what they've earned in the past, and make sure that they're budgeting according to a more normal market return scenario.
Very interesting. And what other things do couples disagree about?
So what's interesting is we look at folks who are preparing for retirement. We ask them, do you know what you have in your accounts towards your retirement goals? And more than half of them couldn't articulate what they had towards retirement, how much their account was worth. So that too is an interesting factor. I hope it's due to the fact that the markets have been up for the last 6 years and their portfolio is more significant than what they thought it might be. But the important thing is for people to get on the same page and to talk about it, to sit down with the financial statements, map out what that retirement might look like together. Are you going to live near the grandchildren and stay at home more, or are you going to travel the world? Those would require different levels of income, and so you want to make sure you map out the vision for your shared retirement and then figure out how to get a plan. And we found that only 1 in 5 couples preparing for retirement actually had a plan for their retirement. So that was a surprising finding to us as well.
So I guess it's safe to assume that these couples aren't having these important conversations about their finances. What do you think is keeping the couples from having those conversations?
So I think that finances have always been one of those somewhat taboo topics. We were taught as kids, don't ask people what they make, and you don't articulate what you make. It's a manifestation of what your worth in the marketplace is, so it's something that you're reluctant to share with other people. But certainly when you're in an intimate relationship with somebody that you're living with and you're trying to build a life together, it's important that you share these financial details with your partner, because you have to think about, what am I bringing home? What goals do we share together? How are we going to budget and save for those goals? And how are we going to achieve those goals over time? So those are really important discussions to have in order to shore up a financial foundation at home.
Okay, and what are the absolute musts that every couple needs to discuss and agree upon?
So we think about, we call it 3 C's. Communicate, collaborate, and control. So you need to communicate. Again, we want to talk about what you bring in, how much you're going to save against these different goals, and therefore what do you have left to spend. And that's an important order. You want to save off the top and then figure out how to spend on what's left, rather than put all the money in the account and then at the end of the year scrape together the nickels to try and save something towards your goals. So save first. The second part is collaborate. You have to do this together. And we find that sometimes there's a bifurcation of labor in a household. Some people do certain chores, some people do other chores, but you have to come together on this one. You have to be aligned on how much you're spending and how you're going to achieve some of those goals in life. And then the third part is control. So once you have a sense of what you're trying to achieve, make sure you're monitoring this, make sure you set a budget and try not to go over it, so that communication, collaboration, and control are really a path to success for folks trying to shore up their financial foundation.
Okay, and not all of us are comfortable talking about money. Do you have any tips for starting the conversation?
You're right. In order to get the conversation going, we've created a couples quiz. It's available at Fidelity.com, and it's a pretty simple way for you to go through 9 questions that get to what would you do in certain situations around your finances. You take the quiz, email them to your partner or spouse. He or she goes through those same 9 questions, and then you can compare and contrast the answers. So it's a fun way to engage people into that topic when they have trouble broaching the subject on their own.
And where can couples go for more help?
So we have a lot of resources available at Fidelity.com. You can subscribe to our Viewpoints there. Viewpoints is a weekly newsletter where we give information about the markets, about investing ideas, and about personal finance ideas.
Okay, great. Again, this was John Sweeney, Executive Vice President at Fidelity Investments. John, thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us on this episode of Business, Life, and Coffee.
Joey, great to talk to you. Thank you.